Hello, it's Jeannie. How are you? I hope you're well. I am doing well. Thank you very much. You guys are just awesome. I'll just start with that. Anyway, today's Friday flip is from, I'm going to try to get through 2 Jackie annuals. And this is kind of the best of a particular year in the 70s into a hardbound copy of what was a monthly magazine in the UK, a teen magazine, so to speak. And I kind of flipped through here a little bit, just kind of taking a quick peek at it, and I realized that there were some people that I didn't recognize. And I was wondering, am I not recognizing them because I forgot who they were? Or did I just not know because they weren't popular in the States at the time? And that very well could be the case. Another thing I noticed was, this is really aimed at girls. It was. There may have been boys, but I'll bet, and I'm just throwing out numbers here, that it was like a 95% girls, probably under the age of 17. Maybe focused on 11 to 17, and that's my guess. I could be totally wrong. And I remember me in the 70s, and in those ages, I'd say 12 to 16, you're really looking to become something that fits in with what you think the image of society is for your age group. You want the right hair. You want the right clothes. You want to do the right things. And these magazines had the answers. You just knew it. And they had the answers with regard to the hot stars of the time, the rock stars or pop stars, movie stars, and that kind of thing. And you got glimpses into their life. And so you learned how to be more perfect. My gosh, should you ever come across them and meet them, you wanted to be completely what they were looking for. So I remember thinking I was going to bump into David Cassidy one day. I just was. And I've said this before in another 70s type, video. And I remember I would just lie awake at night playing out that role of what that would be like when he and I met at some party or a crowded gathering, and he would see me, and I would just be aloof and mysterious, and he would just be so transfixed, and he would just have to get to know me. And of course I looked cool. My hair was fantastic. I had no pimples or outbreaks. And I just knew the cool things to say. That was my fantasy. And then he would just want to marry me, and it would be happily ever after. End of story. It didn't happen that way. Anyway. But what I also realized is these actually helped me feel more insecure. Because number one, we didn't grow up with a kind of budget where I could go out and get, the most modern haircut. And girls just didn't back then. You went out and you got your bangs trimmed. If your mom didn't do it, maybe a home perm. I had those. Clothes, you didn't go out and just buy tons of clothes. my mom sewed a lot of my clothes, and I learned to sew from my mom. And I started sewing clothes, and I made a lot of clothes for my girls and curtains for my house when I was older, things like that. Prom dresses, I made prom dresses. But because I couldn't go out and buy that latest fashion, buy that latest thing, I felt like, I'm not quite up to par. And I think there's a natural insecurity in that age group anyway. And so I'm not blaming it on the magazine. We're naturally trying to discover who we are. We're trying on different personalities. We're kind of busting out of being a child into this new, I like boys or I like girls or whatever, attraction. And what does that mean? I remember a crush I had. I had lots of crushes on a boy. And when he was in the room, I was paralyzed. Or I said something really stupid. It just like foot and mouth. Trying to be cute and clever. I ended up being just really stupid. And, I remember one time, there was a little boy, his name was Johnny, and he lived around the corner. He was so cute. And my girlfriend and I, one of our, not mine, I didn't have sisters, her little sister had an easy bake oven. And so we took it and put it in my garage, and we made these easy bake, little things. And we ran out of the packets of ingredients. And so we went into the house, my fridge, when my mom wasn't looking, and I took things and we put it in those little pans and put it in and baked up all these things. And we went down to his house, put it on his porch, knocked on the door, and ran. And, that would help him fall in love with me, and he would know who did it, right? He didn't, and he didn't. But I remember that being so hopeful. One thing I did have right, like with my husband, is cooking, the way to a guy's heart is through his stomach. And, it's like I learned to cook, and, my husband will be so happy. Oh, that's awesome. Anyway, I think we naturally, and I can only speak for young girls, we naturally had insecurities, and we did our best to hide them, some of us, and some of us couldn't hide them. Some of us were awkward, and the insecurity was bigger than our ability to hide. And there were days I felt like that too, where I would just sit in a room, like, maybe even in a classroom, just feeling like everybody was worthy to be there, worthy enough to be there, but I wasn't. Now, that wasn't all the time, but I think, looking back, I think that's just normal. So, if you are a young girl, know that that's probably normal, and things like that you outgrow. For somebody who's older like me, I think you can look back and kind of see that. What really helped was our friends, right? Our girlfriends, speaking as a young girl, where we could get together and talk about our love, our fantasies with David Cassidy or whomever, and, plot the rest of our life after we met them and all that. And so I've got fond memories too, looking back at, the discussions that my girlfriends and I had, that kind of thing. And those were the good old days, There was one boy that I would have walked off a cliff for. I loved him so much. And I really knew what love was, right? At 13, or whatever I was. And I think he knew, and he would tease me. And it just was my undoing sometimes, because it made me mad. It's like, how can he be teasing me, this person that's so in love with him, and he's making fun of me, and and I think back and it's like, I think he liked me too. With my older 2020 wisdom. So, anyway, I did not plan on talking about all that. So let's look at these Jackie magazines. This one was sent to me from Carol Plummer from the Isle of Wight. Carol, thank you for sending this. Look at this, is a big one too. I love this outfit that she's wearing. Is something that I would have just adored in the 70s. This just typifies everything about our fashion. And I had something very similar. And I remember thinking orange and yellow were the grooviest colors ever to be combined in the entire color spectrum. Orange and yellow. So, and a lot of stuff in the 70s, it was orange and yellow. So, anyway, I'm going to flip through. I won't read every article. I'm just going to kind of do some highlights and my thoughts, my words of wisdom. And what I want to say about this is, even magazines today, for the younger generations, looking at them or social media as the thing to attain, please, please check yourself there. You are just fine the way you are. Yeah, if you want to look at social media or a magazine or whatever as for a new hairstyle and think, oh, that's great, that's fantastic, go for it. But really do your best not to hold yourself next to that as a comparison. Because when you compare yourself to that, chances are you're not going to hold up against that. Like I've said before, I have lights in here. I've got a great camera that auto focuses and you don't see my wrinkles, as much. And that's absolute honesty, all right? And I'm wearing makeup. But, when you look at something and you think, and you look in your mirror and you look at this and you think, oh, I'll never be as good as this. Who is defining what good is or enough is? Don't let magazines, don't let media, any kind of media, tell you that you aren't enough or that you have to be different to be enough. Okay? That can add to so much angst and unrest. And not even the beauty part. Sometimes it's and I don't want to say this incorrectly, but going the other way. It's like, how funky or whatever can I be to fit in? That takes as much effort. Some of these things that I've seen, these, you judge for yourself what they are, extreme looks, I think take more time than putting on makeup. And that's what you're rebelling against, It's okay to not have to be something on any part of the spectrum. Be you. You be you. When you do your makeup or your hair or your clothing or anything like that says, here I am on the surface, you do you and you be happy with you. Does that make sense? Does that get in? I'm hoping somebody will hear this and it'll click and they will kind of stop with trying to be something or attain something that they don't have to. Okay? And we all fall into that. we all fall into that where it's like, oh, I need to be bigger here and, tighter here and less this and more that. And, no, accept yourself as you are. Do what you want to do. Be who you want to be. And be satisfied with when enough is enough. Okay, that was my lecture. My blah, blah, blah. Now, let's get into, we'll start with this one. I love her hairstyle. Those bangs, the kind of turned under orange and yellow. Okay, I'm going to turn on this camera so we can look down. And Carol Plummer, thank you for sending this to me. That is very, very special. Okay, here we go. All right, your very special love chart. So your sign and his sign. Okay, so I'm a Pisces, and let's just say my husband is Leo. He is a female relative of his will make mischief between you. Oh, that's funny. Okay, let's see. We'll do my daughter, No, she's not. She's Capricorn. And her husband is a Cancer. No quarrels, but no magic either. Oh, I'm going to have to show her this. This is all such a load of you-know-what. Okay, here we go, Jackie. He looks familiar, and I can't place him. Who is he, guys? Tell me. I'm sure it'll come later in the book. Let's see. Does it say? Okay. I like how they have all this eclectic, this eclectic way of putting all the topics, categorized: beauty, fun, features. Okay, here we go. We'll skip that. A Jackie Guide to Making Money, and we don't mean printing it. Okay, gardening, like a weekend gardener. This is something I would have loved because I babysat, I did odd jobs. I was very entrepreneurial when I was a kid. Cleaning stables and animals, kennels, and taking care of animals. Car washing, yep, we washed cars. I think they ended up looking worse, because we'd leave streaks and whatnot. It was a big deal to wash a car, Babysitting, a waitress, dressmaking and knitting, dog walking, singing, toy making, being an usherette, a hairdresser's assistant, and a newspaper round. My brother used to deliver newspapers back in the day. Oh, Barry White. Oh, I loved his voice. Oh, my goodness. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, this dreamy look. They probably told him, David, look up and imagine your perfect girlfriend. And of course it would be me he was thinking about, right? How would you like to meet David Cassidy, need we ask? So, and it talks about what he's really like. Wow. I like his shirt. Okay, Slade. I don't remember Slade. I just don't remember them. I don't remember their music or anything. Okay, do you remember your first kiss? Oh my goodness. Is that the goofiest haircut? Look at this. Can you see that? Okay, I'm judging. I am totally judging. But yeah, that's a goofy haircut. Okay. Places that they really want to be. So David Cassidy loved, his paradise is Hawaii. Let's see. Where do you fit in? See, that is something that I would try to, where do I fit in? If you're an only child, an only son, a daughter with an older brother, if you're in the middle, and you can't say that. You can't believe this. Every family and every person is different. Okay, secrets of the Top Pop show, which was Top of the Pops. We did not have that in the States. Okay, the most beautiful man in the world, what would he look like? So it goes on to discuss what he would look like. So he would have hair like Russell Mael. He would have eyes like David Essex, a nose like David Bowie's, a mouth that was friendly and sexy like David Cassidy's, and a chin like Donny Osmond's. Okay, page 93, and you'll see what he looks like. Let's pop ahead. There it is. Ready? There it is. The most beautiful man in the world. They put together all those elements. That's funny. Talk about pigeonholing. Okay. What dark secrets will our super quiz reveal? So you answer all these questions, and then you discover what you are, right? Turn to page 26 and 27 to see a picture of yourself. Oh, look at Elton John when he was younger. Okay, so if you have the most letters, here's what you are. So if you were an M or a P or a K, it tells you all about yourself. Okay, all about wool. All right. This is, so wool hats and sweaters. The Osmonds. See, I used to think she was just like the bee's knees. I thought she just had it all together. You know what I love about this? Is they didn't do photoshopping back then. You can see spots on his face, dark circles, crooked teeth. I mean, I love that. It's real. Do boys have more fun than girls? Okay, can you tell the difference between real love without being in love? And then you have this questionnaire to fill out. So let's see, like, if your knees or hands accidentally brush, do you leap away like a shock? Yeah, electric shock just came through you, or do you feel warm and comfortable? Oh my goodness. Confidence and how to get it. This would have been something I poured over. I like this, though. It says, anyone can acquire it. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. A girl cannot successfully pretend she's slim when her hips are a robust 40 inches plain for all to see. But confidence or lack of it is a personal, not a physical quality. You can pretend a lot more confidence than you've actually got. That's exactly what I was just talking about. You know, we used to try to hide it. I don't know if pretend is the word. It was just trying to hide it. Never admit how nervous you feel. Never undersell yourself. Do the best you can and then forget it. I do like that. You do your best and release the rest. But, yeah. And remember that boys are human too. I remember my older brother, Brian, had a girl that he really liked. And I know he was nervous about it, and I know he had a lot of things going on internally, but he seemed to keep it together and was just so cool about it, you know, so. All right, I let my parents ruin everything about some relationship. Okay, the music stars who have birthdays. Bay City Rollers, Eric Faulkner. Yeah, I don't know some of these guys. Donny Osmond. Gary Glitter. What a name, I don't know him. Gary Glitter. Elton John. Okay. All right, CoverGirl looks for you. Oh my gosh, look at these eyebrows. I did that in the 70s, and they never grew back. Girls, I'm giving you a huge piece of advice here. If these thin eyebrows ever come back, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't grow back. Okay, how to put on all the makeup. She is definitely so cute. This hairstyle actually kind of looks like something from the 40s or 50s, don't you think? Yeah, look at those thin eyebrows. Little did I know they were gone forever. Okay, are you on the right track? Do you feel hurt when you're not the center of attention? Well, of course. Everyone should be looking at me. No, of course not. Okay. Let's see. How to draw. Okay, so these are just kind of little games. Little organizing, decorating things. Oh my gosh, what's your remedy for a broken heart? You go see a healer in the woods, and she makes you a cup of tea and gives you very soft and kind advice. Oh my goodness, Roddy McDowell. He was the guy from Planet of the Apes. Let's see. Okay, who are these headliners? All right. Oh, your how to read things in your hands, and your wrinkles in your hands. Oh, that is the perfect 70s look. Dreamy. Who is it? She looks familiar. Linda. Doesn't say. Do you know, is this an actress or just a girl, a model? Okay, so are you a real charmer? You can't learn it in charm school. You have to practice it in your everyday life. Being charming. Okay, clothing and fashion. Oh, yes, these have come back again, haven't they? Kind of the wide leg pants. I remember smock tops. Those were very popular, smock tops. Dressing up for the night. And again, a smock top. Who are these guys? Is this the Bay City Rollers? I don't know. Who is this? I do not know. Cute young boys. All right, down on the farm. Who does what? Yeah, Bay City Rollers. That's what they're like at home. All right. White pants. Other than a show, who wears white pants when you ride a horse? I was a horsewoman, and we did. When I went to a show, I wore white, of course. And when I was in a show, I should say. Oh, look at Princess Anne. She's amazing. Okay, have you got what it takes? Oh my goodness. You're at a party and there are lots of lovely males around. What's your first reaction? Super. Which one shall I have first? Oh my God. The one over there looks nice. You fancy one in particular, but you aren't going to let him know it. That would be me. How dreamy are you? Quizzes, lots of quizzes. Okay, I never did that. I actually did something like that in the 80s. We had leg warmers when we went to Jazzercise. Okay. Cute. Fashion do's and don'ts. Okay. Oh, don't have your skirt length too long. Interesting. These all look good to me. Okay. Look at these drawings. Look at those long legs. So her legs are this long, and her torso and head are that long. But what's he really like? Getting into the head of a guy. Un jour avec David à Paris. Oh, David Essex. That's who this guy was. David Essex. Okay, I knew it would tell me. I don't know what he did or didn't do, but that's who it was. Okay, eyebrows. Oh my goodness. How to act with him based on eyebrows. Oh my gosh. Oh God, this just makes me want to hit my head against a brick wall. How to act with him if he has a nose that is upturned or straight or snubbed or a Roman nose. Oh my God. Oh my God, let's just judge somebody. Okay. What scares you? Super cops and the TV, that's what it was. Let's see. Are you a human dustbin? Oh, what foods to avoid? Okay. Avoid butter or margarine. What? Okay, it's giving you options for different things, I suppose. Not all of these I agree with, but that's okay. All right. Will he be your Prince Charming? Different kinds of guys. Survival guides to parties. What the writing shows, what the signature shows, your boyfriend's signature, what it means. It's your life, enjoy it. Oh, it's a question and answer, like a deer, what's it called? I don't know what the deer thing is, but it's Okay, Tree of Love. Wow. Whose eyes are these? Interesting. All right. Getting him into shape. If you go for boys with thin arms, here's what you can do to help them get stronger arms. Oh my God. Yeah, get the boy and then try to change him. Am I snarky or what? Okay. Which season is for you? Where would you prefer to acquire your beautiful golden suntan? In a deck chair on the French Riviera, on a chairlift over the Swiss Alps, on a yacht off the Greek islands, or on a pony through the forests of Bavaria? I would say, at this time of my life, either A or C. In a deck chair on the French Riviera or on a yacht off the Greek islands. That's me. Does that make me? Let's see it. C makes me. Oh, I'm a spring girl. That puts me into spring. Oh, God. Okay, how to be a flatterer. Back to basics with clothing and fashion. That skirt, we wore a lot of those skirts like that. And we made them. I learned how to make that. That was one of the first things I learned how to make in my home ec class. Okay, how to do your hair, ponytails, and buns. Okay. How to disguise that you love him. Oh my God, see? How to cover things up. How to not be yourself. I'm sorry. Okay, Olga Korbut and Nadia Comaneci. Do you remember those people from the Olympics? I was big fans of theirs. Problem parents. Let's see. Tatum O'Neal. Oh, she was so cute. Paper Moon. Have you seen Paper Moon? That was a great show, movie. But she starred in it with her father, Ryan O'Neal. What's the worst Christmas present you've ever had? Our favorite bad guys. Oh, golly. Clint, Mick, Peter Davison. Wow, he's younger. John Travolta, Bob Geldof. Okay. The bad boy. Girls at the top. Who's at the top right now? Okay, from ABBA. The gals from ABBA. Bonnie Tyler. Debbie Harry. Okay. All right. Oops. Okay, so that is one. And now let's get to this one. So it's not too long and blah, blah, blah. We'll kind of get through this. Let's see. Okay. All right. Can you see that? David Cassidy and Donny Osmond. The best of Jackie. Okay, letters to the editor or whoever answers those. Your country needs you, but so does your boss. What are you gonna do? Okay, the beauty box. Be a beautiful dreamer. Get your sleep, clean your face. all those things. How to take good care of yourself. That's good. Dresses for men. What? Okay, you can wear clothes that get the envy of other girls and the attention and fancy of blokes. So, alrighty. Oh, these are kind of cool. Yeah. I remember I thought that look was so awesome. I had a dress like that. I had a dress very similar to that, a little longer. Okay, another one of those charts. You know, the he's a this and you're a that. The truth about the secret shoe fillers. Huh? I do not know what that's about. Some kind of cult? Dust down your dating ideas. I have to get out now stories. Like true life stories of relationships. I tiddly tie-dye. Tie-dye. Oh yeah, I remember learning how to tie-dye. That was so much fun. Oh, how to become slimmer. Okay, the zodiac ring. Let's see. 21 ways to make him notice you. Okay, all right. Fashion. How to be popular. Oh my goodness. Could you get an A level on boys? More fashion. I remember these kind of gaucho type pants. I did like those too. And boots, big chunky boots. One of my girls asked me, I think it was in she was in high school, so it would have been in the 80s. No, I'm not that old. It would have, when did she graduate? It was in the early 2000s. She said, Mom, why did you get rid of all your clothes from the 70s? I would love those now. Oh, look at that. David Bowie. Face to face with David Bowie. Oh, when he was so young. I liked him. I thought it was great. Okay, what do you think he'll be doing in 10 years' time? Okay, what were these? Holly Hobby? Was this? I can't remember. These were really, really popular, the Betsy Clark goodies. I don't think they're Holly Hobbies, but that was really popular. Okay, the letters. Let's see. All right. Oh, yeah. So, kind of a cartoon of a girl in love with her very own Donny Osmond kind of guy. Or is it Donny Osmond? Oh, my God. Okay, so she's daydreaming that she lives next door to him, and it's happily ever after. Yeah. But I guess it's a different guy. Are you as beautiful as you'd like to be? Okay. No pressure there. Journey into the unknown. Okay, it's a quiz. And then you come to the conclusion that you're romantic, or you like comfort, or you're sociable, or you're intuitive. Now, see these dresses here? I wore these dresses. Those were very, very common. Very simple lines. I didn't have a bust line like that, but okay. All right. Different ways to dress for different outdoor sports and games. But what's your real age based on these questions? Can you face yourself? Oh, there's that David Essex again. Gary Glitter, there he is again. Oh, it tells you what kind of guy he is by the way his eyebrows are. Rod Stewart, Brian Ferry, and Donny Osmond. What to know about them based on their nose, their eyes, their rubbish. Okay, let's see. Do you like yourself? Okay, want to save money and look good at the same time? How to dress up different things, that's wise. That's good. That's like capsule wardrobe things. Okay. Holiday clothing. Okay. Just Instacolor. Oh my gosh, these cameras. Different quizzes. How sexy are you? Good grief. Okay. Again, another writing analysis course. Oh, look at these dresses. Daisies were a big part of decorating an outfit. Daisy pouch, like that daisy. Yeah. Oh, look at that hair. Wow. Can you see that? Dang. Are you sorry for yourself? Self-pity. I don't want to end up like her. Which modern invention could you give up happily? Deep freeze. A deep freezer. Multi-story flats. Instant mashed potatoes. The Concord. That kind of happened. Bathtubs. Oh my gosh. Crazy. All right. Well, what do you think? A different survey. Okay, ages 16, 14, 17, 15, 17, 16. Yep. It's a survey about clothes and makeup and entertainment and boys and family. Okay. What jobs do you think are glamorous? Can this be love? See, I would try to find and define my life in things like this. I really did. Like that little boy Johnny, Now, I was probably too young for this, but it's like, when your friends tell you he's not right for you, what do you think about that? Okay. How to look horrible. In other words, how to do everything wrong. Okay. Things to collect. Do you enjoy being a girl? Interesting. So it's a questionnaire. When you think of best friends who became blood sisters, and what do you think of that? And when they promise eternal friendship, you know, it's okay, it's nice, it's good. It's kind of what you think of your girlfriends, I guess. Okay, more fashion. Yeah. Wow, look at the exaggerated leg there. But I think they're trying to get the style point made. Okay, what makes you love them? The lady killer, the plain rotten type, the unromantic type, the possessive domineering type. Oh my goodness. Talk about setting somebody up for dysfunctional. Okay. All right, different things like books and more fashion. Okay. Here's that David Essex again. Yeah, I just didn't know him. But look at that fashion. These maxi dresses are cute. What makes us go pink? What makes them blush? Is that, yeah, blushing. Okay. What makes somebody blush? Letters. Letters people write in. Okay, more fashion. What to wear when you meet his mom. And to go out wining and dining. When you're going to a football game. When you're hungry but can't be bothered waiting for something to cook, here's what to have, like on bread. Oh my goodness, okay. The Kathy and Claire page. All right. You know you've got a friend when she gives your telephone number to the dishy boy who asks for it. All right. Oh my goodness. Could you be a star? And it's a questionnaire. And then you find out what letter you are. And it tells you. When I took those, if I didn't like what I came out with, I went back and took it again and answered differently. Okay, more fashion. Oh, I remember these. Those were so cute. The socks with toes, big tall knit socks with toes. I remember these shoes. Oh my gosh, I think I had this pair. Bye-bye 75, going into 1976. What was popular? Another Kathy and Claire page. Oh, get ahead of him. Reading your boyfriend's poem is one thing, but reading his mind is something else. Yeah, right. Oh my gosh. All right, green apple. I remember that perfume. Okay, more fashion. I have a pair of jean overalls. I almost wore those today, but it's still too warm outside. It's mid-October and it's still too warm here in Texas. Oh, look at these hats. How chic. Okay, so different gingham style clothing. Oh my gosh, look at that hair. Wow. How to do that? I guess it's all about henna, dyeing your hair with henna. Okay. I'll get through this because I know it's long. Oh, bathing suits. These are pretty timeless, I think. There's nothing earth-shaking about these bathing suits. These are all very, even modern today. Dance. How to dance. Okay. Oh my gosh, more of the reading someone's face by their features, or reading somebody's personality by their face and features. And fashion, Western, the Western look. More Kathy and Claire. Okay, red. Red, how to look good in red. Oh, wow. 70s fashions, what can you say? Okay, knickers, underwear, panties. All right. Oh, what your doodles mean. That's interesting. Okay. All right. If you were Santa Claus, who would you not give a present to? More of your poem reading. If you were the only girl in the world, would you hate to be the only boy? Who would you hate to be the only boy? Oh my gosh. Okay, Starsky and Hutch. They were so cute. Okay. Hairstyles. Wow. Some of the latest hairstyles. I think England, UK had these styles before the US did. Okay. Go where you please. Okay, outdoor type dressing. Yeah, very cute. Very typical skirt of the 70s. Oh my goodness, who is this guy? I have no idea. More Kathy and Claire. I don't know who that is. Maybe somebody from the Bay City Rollers? I do not know. Look at this hair. Oh my God. And his, what do you call those, mutton chops? Oh my goodness, that is so funny. All right. Well, there you have it. I know I had to rush through a little bit, but I wanted to get them both done on the same video. I hope you enjoyed it. It is interesting looking back and seeing those questionnaires and those surveys and things that really do feed into a little bit of your insecurities, you know, or how to be more confident, how to hide your lack of confidence. And I guess that's just ages old, or decades and decades old. It's a luxury, I think. Did they, you know, I remember seeing some magazines from the like 30s and 40s, and there was, but they were geared, they weren't teen magazines, they were geared more for the homemaker. Things like this became, I think, a luxury to be able to style yourself and want to be something else and have magazines and whatnot. I don't think they had those in, let's say, the 1800s. You're just trying to survive, you know. Now, if you had a lot of money, you knew how to look better, be better, go to finishing schools, all those things. But for the average girl, you wore what you had and you made do, and, you know, it was a struggle just to survive. Vanity wasn't a luxury. So, anyway, regardless of all of that, I still miss the 70s. I loved the 70s, insecurities and all. For me, it was a really wonderful decade. 60s too, but I was, you know, that was my first decade, so 0 to 10, you know. It was fun. It was great. But the 70s is when I really kind of started having a lot of fun with my life. My older brother, Brian, became my best friend. We would go out together and we started going to concerts. We would go to Day on the Green concerts in San Francisco, Oakland Coliseum, and see bands and that, you know, all the great bands, Fleetwood Mac, Eagles, saw Led Zeppelin, let's see, oh my God, Santana, Leonard Skinner, Peter Frampton. I mean, name it. We would go and see them. Aerosmith, I think we saw two or three times. Yeah, they were just so much fun. We had so much fun in those days. Carefree, no cell phones, no social media. Good times. So, tell me, if you could go back to the 70s, if you haven't been there, would you want to go back based on what you think you know about it? And the second question is, if you've gotten this far into the video without falling asleep or drifting away, what is your favorite decade? Where you just felt free and easy and it was just good. And it might be a year within a decade. So, all right, I'm going to sign off. This is a long blah, blah, blah. I wish you well, my dear friends. I wish you so much wellness and peace and love. Be well, and I will see you very soon in the next video.